Hello everybody, so today's video, it's quite an upsetting one. It does involve that of a child, a little baby girl named Lauryn Dickens. Maybe you've heard of this case, maybe you haven't. I learned about it for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and when I read the details of the case, I just couldn't believe it. My heart broke, but I wanted to tell you guys her story today. And just keep her name alive. She is such a beautiful baby girl. She didn't deserve what happened to her, which no child does. Um, but I wanted to tell you her story today, so that is what we're doing. But a trigger warning, because this does involve a child death, and it's just really sad. So I'm just putting that out there. This might be too hard for some of you to handle, and that's completely fine. But we are talking about a child's death today. With that being said, all the links I used for research will be down below, like always, and let's go ahead and get into this. So Lauryn was born on November 24th, 2009, and she is from Memphis, Tennessee, and she was 9 months old when she reportedly went missing, but it would be 2 years before we would actually learn the horrifying details of what really happened to her. And again, just another trigger warning. It's going to be hard to listen to, but she was a sweet baby girl, and she would have been such a bright light in this world if she hadn't been taken out of it. So Lauryn lived with her 3-year-old brother and their mom, Shakara Dickens, at the Raleigh Village Apartments in the 4900 block of Yale Road in Memphis at the time she went missing. Shakara was a single mom of the 2 kids, while Lauryn's dad, Benjamin Norfleet, was in jail. Shakara would begin to complain to Benjamin that she struggled to care for Lauryn while he was put away. And what I'm about to tell you is what Shakara would claim would happen. So this is her story. And she says on September 7th, 2010, a white woman in her 40s that was claiming to be a friend of Benjamin's came by her apartment and said that she would care for Lauryn until Benjamin was released. Shakara said she handed Lauryn over to this mysterious woman that she'd never met before without getting any contact information from her. She said she didn't even ask this woman for her name. She then said she never saw the 2 of them again. And this is a mysterious woman you've never met before. You don't ask for an address. You don't ask for a name. You don't ask for a phone number, an email, your mom's number. You don't ask for any way to contact this woman about your child. Yeah, that's so believable. So what she would do in the days following her daughter's disappearance, it kind of gave me Casey Anthony vibes. So she didn't seem concerned about her child's whereabouts at all, or her well-being. In fact, she was busy clubbing with friends and shopping for new clothes, and she even got a tattoo touch-up. Literally every single thing that Casey Anthony did. She just clubbed, friends, tattoos. And when I saw that, it gave me chills. Like, her story was already sketchy before, but just hearing how she acted, it grossed me out. She didn't even report that her daughter was missing until 8 days later on September 15th. And she only did this because her mom, Tracy, demanded that it happen and dragged her to the police station as soon as she heard the story. So thank God for Tracy. Thank God for Tracy for stepping in and saying, the story is weird. It doesn't sound right. Something's going on. You need to tell them what's going on. So thank you so much, Tracy, for being a reasonable adult and giving your daughter a reality check. Because honestly, this woman, this mysterious woman you've never met before, takes your child without getting any information from her. Over a week has passed and you just don't question it. You don't try to find her. Yeah, it sounds like you care a whole lot. Sure. So the police listened to her story and they didn't believe it at all. So police even visited Benjamin Norfleet in jail, and he said he didn't know a woman who fit that description of the lady Shakara claimed had Lauryn. He also said he never sent this random person to get his daughter, and the last time he even spoke to Shakara was late August. She blocked the number when he tried to call, so he couldn't even get through to her. Shakara told conflicting stories about Lauryn. Some of them was that she was with Norfleet's parents and she'd given her child up for adoption. Shakara quickly became the prime suspect. She can't just keep one story straight. She's telling everybody something different. Girl, come on. Cadaver dogs were sent to her home, and the scent of human remains was picked up on in her apartment and in her car. She was arrested a week after reporting Lauryn missing and charged with child neglect, child endangerment, and false reporting. Um, at this point, police definitely believed Lauryn was dead, but they still couldn't get Shakara to confess to anything. So while she waited trial, other inmates would tell cops that Shakara had broke down during a religious group meeting while locked up. She said, this is what the inmates are telling the cops that Shakara said, quote, God would not forgive me for what I've done, end quote. In 2012, she stood trial and she was found guilty on the charges already handed down to her previously, neglect and endangerment, as well as for the murder of Lauryn. She agreed with prosecutors and said she would finally tell the truth about what happened to her daughter, Lauryn. And another quick trigger warning, because I am not going to tell you supposedly the truth of what happened. So Shakara revealed that on September 7th, 2010, she was stressed out because she couldn't find a ride to take Lauryn to daycare, and she needed someone to watch her while while she worked her shift at Walmart. She grew even more stressed and began to cry, and then Lauryn was seeing her mom cry. She also began to cry. Shakara says she tried to soothe her daughter, but nothing worked, so she put her hand over Lauryn's nose and mouth. And this is a quote from Shakara. This is her testimony in court, or from it. She says, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what was wrong with me. But I was holding her. I put my hands over her mouth and nose, and she passed out. I realized what I was doing, and I stopped. She started crying, and I did it again, and her body just went limp. End quote. After Lauryn was dead, she took a towel from her bathroom and wrapped Lauryn inside and placed her body in a trash bag. She tossed Lauryn into the apartment dumpster a few buildings away and never looked back. The dumpster was emptied by the city's waste management a few days later. Shakara was sentenced to 19 years in prison. Because she has no prior convictions, she could be released early, and she could be freed by the age of 35. When I am doing my research at this time, she has not left prison. She is still serving her sentence. So she has not been let out yet. So that is good. And I hope she serves the full 19 years. You murdered your daughter in a horrific way. This child who's never going to be here ever again. Honestly, I think she deserved 19 years. I thought she deserved more, way more than 19 years. I think she deserved a life sentence for that. The way she just tossed her child in a dumpster and never looked back. The way you just so willingly put your hands over her nose and mouth. I think she deserves life. I think she's a horrible human being. And I think the least she could do is serve the full 19 years. That's just my opinion, though. I don't think she ever deserves another comfortable moment in her life. I don't care if she started breaking down, saying God will never forgive me, yada yada yada. I don't care how sorry she ends up being. I hope she is uncomfortable. I hope she is miserable for the rest of her life. That is the least. That is the least she could do. Is just be miserable. Honestly, I feel horrible for Benjamin Norfleet. I'm sure he cared about his daughter, and to be locked up in jail, serving your time, probably getting hoping to get out soon so you can see your daughter, and to get the news that your daughter is missing, and then to find out that the woman you probably once cared about in life because you had a baby with her is the one who did it. I can't imagine how he has to feel. And then just Tracy, her grandchild is dead, and her daughter did it. Like, finding out your daughter is a monster, that is just a feeling that I couldn't even comprehend. I don't want to know that feeling. But that is the story of Lauryn Dickens. It is heartbreaking to just... She was just crying because she was seeing her mom cry because her mom was stressed. And so she cried too because you see your parents upset, you get upset. And she just killed her. And I think that's pathetic. And this child could have been such a bright light. She could have had such a wonderful future. She would be, I think, 15 now. But she'll always be just forever 9 months old. Well, you guys, that was the story of Lauryn Dickens. Thank you so much for listening to her story. Please let me know your thoughts down below. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye, guys.